basically, I'm just going to start with the loaded question. What has been new with you? I know it's been a minute. There's been, a lot of changes in your life. So,
yeah.
What's been new?
Everything new is I'm married. So that's been like a year and a half ago. I got married in the middle of COVID. It was awesome.
So was it like a small wedding?
Yes,
like
it was
just everyone that was cool, not everyone else,
Literally not even all of our friends could go. Like it was just grandparents, parents. So we bought a house, I think 6 weeks before we decided we were going to get married. He proposed in our backyard. We got married in our backyard.
That's nice.
It was, free venue. Loved that.
Yeah, my mom.
That was great.
My mom, she got married in her backyard. So it was a very home feeling. And it was just like everyone that was important. It wasn't like everyone else, not the 200 invitations. It was just a small group of family and, it was cool.
Yeah, we didn't even send out invitations. We just texted everybody. We were like, hey, be at our house at this time because there's only 40 of you.
Yeah.
And 10 of them's our parents and grandparents. So it was easy. That's what's new. And then obviously this job, I've been doing this for 4 weeks as a full-time loan officer. But before that, I was an assistant. So I gathered all kinds of documents on the back side of it, not like having conversations up front with people about what their goals are and stuff. So.
Okay. Yeah. So this for everyone listening, this is a conversation in a million years I think would never happen, in my opinion. It's just, we're so opposite and we really didn't talk a whole lot in high school at all. Not that I had issues. It's just that, we were on our own thing.
Yeah.
How would you describe me? I don't know. It's like, I always knew you were smart. That was it. I'm like, she's smart. That's pretty much, the full extent of all I knew about you, really.
Yeah. I would describe you as easygoing and like upbeat, but also like chill, if that makes sense. Like every time people are around you, they feel this like positive energy. Like you said, I've never really gotten to talk to you a ton, but I've always known you were super chill and cool if I was to talk to you, down to earth.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was very rare. And also one thing I hated, like, I don't know, the one stigma I got because I didn't do it. Everyone thought I smoked in high school and I didn't. It was just like, I was always tired. It's like I had a job and I worked on a farm. I had bags under my eyes because I was tired.
You're like, guys, do you see these Prada bags I have under my eyes? Like, they're earned, okay?
Yeah,
I earned them.
Yeah, I've had mine since I was 17. So what made you become a senior loan officer and why did you choose this path? Now that you're doing it, I'm like, you know what? I could, I can see it, I can see it.
Yeah, I loved math. I will say that. If there was a subject in high school, like I liked math, super weird. Who the heck likes math? Obviously, not many of us. But I will say that when I graduated college, I started a job at Author Solutions. And so I thought that was a publisher for books. And I thought that was going to be super cool.
Is that the building right next to the old hospital?
It is on Liberty, actually. Okay. Right by Steak and Shake in the new Aldi over there.
Okay. What building is that? Anyway, there's some building right next to the Kroger and whatnot that has to do kind of with that. I don't know what it was called, but
yes. Yeah. And so I actually have like 4 or 5 friends that are realtors and I did not like my job. And they were like, why don't you just go be the front desk person at Ruoff? And I was like, I have nothing to lose. I might as well. And shortly after I became the front desk person, it transitioned to being an assistant. And then I got licensed and here I am. So it kind of just went from one thing to another, but that's usually how that front desk position rolls into, but no one's ever became a loan officer before. They've all stopped at assistant. So this is very new territory for all of us.
Well, that sounds, and this has been, how long has this been? Like, how long did it take you to move up like that?
2.5 years. So I started at Ruoff in December of 19, right before COVID hit.
So is that fast? Is that like a fast track for this business or like?
Yes. So the youngest person in my office besides me, that is a loan officer, is 39 and I'm 25.
Look at you doing stuff. Look at you.
I'm feeling very accomplished.
Yeah.
Yet
Accomplished.
My hands sweat sometimes when I sit here, you're like, uh-oh. These are people's like financials that I've just got my hands in.
So did you get a lot of backlash in the office, or was like everyone happy because the age factor?
Right. I mean, honestly, everybody has the same opportunity. I will say that all the assistants have the same opportunity to go loan officer whenever they want to, but the hang up is your full commission. So I don't make anything if I don't have closings.
Yeah.
So it's really a motivator.
Yeah, I got a lot of backlash when I lived in Florida. I sold beer, but I was like doing some extra stuff and I was making more money than other people. And they're like, he's only been doing this for 6 months. But I tripled the profits on the route I got. Like I worked my ass off, but it's like I got the opportunities because it was nonstop for me.
Right, because you bust your butt.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do.
It's that simple. And age doesn't mean anything. And it's like some people have it, some people don't. There's
you either have it from within.
Yeah. Or it comes over time. Like there's people that have potential and you don't see it. And that's the ones that kind of hurt. It's like, man, this person could do so much better. But you can lead a horse to water. It doesn't mean it's going to drink it. Yeah. So
look at that.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I see a lot. And that's why I got backlash. Everyone that came at me was in that factor of they could, but they only work when they want to. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
It's so, and like you said, everyone has the same opportunities in every job. And of course, there's politics involved in terms of who, like a little bit of who you have to be nice to certain people and know how to talk to the important people. You know what I mean? Like, and that's another big factor and stuff, I would think. And so I guess the next question is, what are the steps you had to take in terms of like the college? I'm sure there was a degree in finance or some sort of economic background. Or is that what you did in college, or did you go for something else and it kind of tied in?
It ties all together. I will say that. So I did my bachelor's degree at IU in 3 years. So I kind of fast tracked and put my head down and went straight through it. But I did sports marketing and management. What that means is really like the last 2 weeks of your classes were based on sport and how everything we learned tied into how that would be with a sports team. So it really wasn't like sport marketing and management. It was more just like management and marketing with a sprinkle of sport at the end. But that's what I did. And then I quickly was 20 when I graduated because, I was young in high school. I was like a super young and I graduated at 17, barely. And I was 20. And I was like, I can't even drink alcohol legally. How am I supposed to go like be a full-time human? So I went and got my master's degree in administration. And so I use a lot of what I learned today. But I also, fun fact, am terrible at econ. Awful at economics. Terrible. Good at math. Awful at economics.
I guess I'm the opposite. Terrible at numbers. But when it comes to stocks and closings and business and the economic side of things, that's what
clicks. You've got that part.
That clicks.
Sometimes they don't connect, I have to really work on my econ skills. Sometimes.
I'm like, what can make me money? What's going to lose me money? Like, I should go over here, not over here. That's kind of what,
Totally.
But I can't, like, with math, there were too many formulas. Like, you got to punch this in here, and that's where my brain would get lost.
Yeah, that's the only part I'm good at that. I'm like, what equation do I use for this? Done.
And yet I'm a numbers guy, but I can't do like, X, Y equals blah, blah, blah to the fifth square of this pi. And no,
you're like, no, that's where you lose me.
That's not me for sure. So how is it with marketing? And do you think in your job you have an advantage over certain people just because you know how to put yourself out there and find the clientele,
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually have an in-house marketing team, which is awesome. So they can handle all of that stuff for me. They create social media posts. They do it for everyone, but you have to know that it's available and know how to use the websites in order to do that. And I will say that I have a lot more, I think, like energy and gumption because I am new and young. Both of those things I think play in my favor of that. I am willing to go out there and email a realtor and be like, hey, my name is Brittany. Can I take you to lunch and get to know you? Like, I'd love to tell you about myself and what I think I can bring to the table and how think I can make our professional relationship grow. And I really think that that has helped me a lot because for the first month, I knew I was going to be doing this, but I hadn't started until March 1st. And I took that whole month to just get to know more people than I already knew. And being from Bloomington, I will say, helps.
Yeah.
And it just, people just even, I mean, my name changed, but people kind of still know who I am and where I went to school. And I cheered at IU. So I have like this big base of people that I know around here that is also helping me. Like they're sharing my social media posts. People are active for me and all of those things, like word of mouth, even all of it helps. And it helps with our age sometimes too. I think people either trust me or they're like, does she know what she's doing?
Yeah.
And then you talk to me and you figure out very quickly that if I don't know what I'm doing, I'll find out the answer though. I'll never tell you that I know the answer when I don't.
Yeah, that's one thing I do. Like I manage people now and they'll ask me questions like, I don't know, I just work here, but give me a few minutes and I can see if I can get you an answer. Cause I'm not gonna like just tell people like something that's not right. Cause
you don't want to be wrong.
Yeah, I hate being wrong, which I'm wrong I'm wrong all the time. But
me too.
It's me, not when I have to tell people what to do. I'll do things, but that didn't work. Now I know what not to do.
Right. Absolutely. It's a learning experience.
So you brought up sports marketing, I guess. So I'm assuming you're big into sports or no?
Yes.
Okay, because I've seen this post of Kevin Holland in the last UFC thing where Kevin Holland was like giving like his corner a thumbs up. So are you big into like MMA and all that? Or was that just something you seen that you thought was like, oh, that's funny?
I thought it was funny. I will say that I am like football fanatic.
Okay.
Love football. Patrick Mahomes is my favorite dude. His wife's a little crazy, but he's like on his way to being close to Tom Brady. I don't know that anybody's ever going to top Tom Brady.
I think
but Patrick Mahomes is awesome.
I think Josh Allen's the next Tom Brady. He's got
Allen's awesome too.
He's got that
he's got poise. He's like very poised and he makes good decisions. Yeah. And he leads the field very well. Yeah. Well, and they're all from that same class.
I'm a Raiders fan, so Derek Carr is my guy. And we just picked up a lot of good talent and good coaching. So it's going to be an interesting season. I think the off season, this is the most interesting off season it's been in a while with all the trades and free agencies. And I thought Baker was going to go to Indy for a second, but
I mean, we need something.
I'm not a Colts fan personally, but like, I don't know why they keep going with the old guys.
Like super old and not a lot of promise.
Yeah, I know Baker had an off year last season, but he was injured. And I think if you put him in the right system, he might be good. I don't know yet.
What did you think about the Odell Beckham issue with Baker?
Well, he had us convinced that he was washed. That's how bad Baker Mayfield is. He had us convinced Odell Beckham couldn't play.
And then he goes to LA and
he wasn't doing the one-handed fancy catches, but when his number was called, he did his thing. Yeah, he did his thing. Yeah, I think I'm not gonna say he's done, but it's the same knee,
it's the same one.
Yeah, so who knows? I wouldn't if I'm in free agency, I'm not gonna pay money for him.
No,
I hope he comes back just as good. But if I'm a team owner, if he's not gonna take like a minimum, I'm not gonna want him on my team personally.
I know, and he won't.
Yeah, because
he'll do all those fancy catches and he's Odell.
Yeah. So it's
'Cause
going to
he's
be
older.
hard for him to find a team that will sign him, and the money that they think is right and what he thinks he gets. And it's going to be, I mean, the Rams might keep him. I know the Rams have the cap space. So we'll see.
Right.
Um,
But he's got to get healthy. And how do you keep him on the roster if he's maybe not going to be healthy? I don't know. It's very interesting.
yeah. So that's crazy. Yeah, but I just thought that post was funny because I am a huge martial arts guy, and I was watching that fight. And then, Kevin Holland came and knocked the guy out in the second round shortly after that. So it was just like, he's like, yeah, I told you I was good. Um, so I guess to move on a little bit, how difficult is it for you to find clients? Like, I'm sure a few people reach out just from your name, just like you said, or is there like emails you might have to send out to like random people or people that are interested in the market, or like how do you really get your name out there besides word of mouth?
So it's more about building relationships with your referral partners. So with realtors in town, kind of getting to know who they are, finding, because they have a variety of clientele. Like they might have, their grandma's looking for a house. Well, they might like an older loan officer, like kind of getting the feel out of what kind of audience they bring in and what would work best with me. And some people want to talk to someone their age. They're like, hey, this person intimidates me or whatever it is. It's more about getting your name out with referral partners and then them talking good about you. Because I will say the beginning of the process is always a pre-approval. So they will go to their realtors and be like, hey, where do I start? The realtors will go, you need a pre-approval in order for a seller to take you seriously. Because if you're going to put an offer in on a house, most realtors won't even write the offer anymore without a pre-approval because, well, for a variety of reasons. But in this kind of a market, when houses are going in 24 hours of being listed, they want to make sure that you have the financing secure to back up what you're offering. So that's always the first step. So I do things on the front side, like pre-approving people, and then they come back to me when they have an accepted offer and I take it from there and continue to go. So.
Yeah, I mean, and I think right now in the market, like even though to me houses are worth more than what they are at the moment, just because of the inflation and all that. But I think
Right.
for someone like you that you said like it has to do with closing deals and like percentages and all that. It's probably great for someone like you making this money because there's more money to be made than ever right now
Yes.
in the house
Yes.
market.
Yeah.
And even though more people might not be buying just because like, a perfect example is when I was in Florida, the house I stayed at was, I think, listed at 360. And then like two houses down, like the house was like $1 million. It's just like, it's just because they had a lake on the property. But yet all these people from the East Coast were coming down and just paying cash.
Yep.
And it's like business was booming down there. I was like, man, even if I wanted to buy a house, all these people are just throwing prices up because all these people that were moving have the money. They can just throw whatever they want on it and someone's going to buy it.
I know. And people are putting in cash offers everywhere.
Yeah.
Cash everywhere. I don't know where people are getting the cash. I mean, maybe it comes with age and being smart with your money, but holy cow. Like people are just throwing cash offers down.
Like I'm not like broke, but I don't have $300,000 in the bank.
Correct. Who does?
Put down.
No one. Like not many people, I'll tell you that. But they are winning these deals because cash offers are really attractive to a seller because then they don't have to worry about a mortgage. They don't have to worry about an interest rate. They can close in like 4 days. And our average clear to close days are like 17 business days. So like 3.5 weeks, basically, how long it takes us to get from your application to the clear to close. Your closing might not be on the clear to close date, obviously, but it can take some time. And that's why these cash offers are just, they come in and they beat you. It's hard.
Yeah. And I mean, and for me, I'm looking to buy a house within a year or so. But right now, I'm like, I don't know, because everything just keeps going up. I might have to I might have to look outside of Bloomington, like towards like Bedford or like somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and those houses are pretty affordable. And even like Ellettsville's better than like Bloomington, like it's just a different pocket of real estate.
As of right now, I work in Mitchell, so it would make sense for me to get a house in the Bedford area.
Totally.
But I mean, I would love to stay here because I got a second job here, and it would be nice to like not have to like make long drives back and forth to both. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping the market goes down a little bit by the time, but it's not looking like it's going to happen. So
these interest rates, I'll tell you. The feds keep saying they're going to increase them too. They're in the 5s right now for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And they were in the 2s.
I mean, that's not terrible when you think of 5% of like 300,000. No, that's some money.
They're still not bad, I will say. Like, our parents bought houses at like 14%. Like 5% is pre-COVID still. I mean, they're not bad. People are just used to hearing 3s and 4s, and then they hear 5 and they're like, what? And you're like, I know, but it's still not bad.
Yeah. I mean, if I could get approved for 5%, I'd be a happy camper myself.
I know, right? And then you can refinance when the rates drop. Like that's always the thing. I'm like, you can always refinance.
Yeah.
But right now it is what it is.
I'm gonna refinance my truck soon. Once as I pay off some ACCs, and I can probably get my payments under $400 on a new truck, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, a truck payment under $400.
Like a new truck, not like an old, like new. Yeah.
Good for you. I'm still driving my car that's totally paid off that I got a while ago.
Yeah, I have a thing with cars. I guess my money is spent on cars because I drive a lot. I'm like, I need something reliable. I can't have something that's going to break down. And I had a Mustang before, but I was starting to get up on miles. And I actually got more than I thought I was because even the car market's ridiculous right now.
Right. Everything's crazy.
Yeah. So they gave me a decent trade. And now I got like a 2019 truck, but it had less than 40,000 miles.
Good for you.
Yeah. And I'm
That's awesome.
Happy until I put gas in it. It's like I put $20 in and it barely moved the needle.
Do you at least have a Sam's Club membership?
No. But the thing is it's crazy. In Mitchell, gas is under $4.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like $3.98 or something, but like
that's not fair. I'm gonna have to drive to Mitchell to get gas.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's convenient. I'll fill up down there. I almost said up there, down there, and I save like 30 cents a gallon by filling up.
You've got a lot of gallons in your truck.
Yeah, I think it's a 32-gallon tank.
That adds up. That's $10.
Yeah.
Every trip.
Yeah, I haven't filled it from like empty, but I put $110 in, and it cost, and that wasn't even like that was a little under half a tank. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
What kind of gas do you have to put in it?
I just put the regular 8.
Same.
I'm not
87 or whatever.
And now in my Mustang, I put 93 in it.
The premium.
Yeah. And it ran better. It had more kick, and it was actually better gas mileage. Now it's weird. My truck on the gas cap, it says I can put that 85 like corn gas in it. That's
okay.
But I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like,
interesting. I've never used that before.
Yeah. And like, even though it says like it's what it's made for, I'm not going to do that.
Sounds scary.
I don't trust it.
Yeah. It's not been out. I have never even heard of it.
It's
corn gas.
Well, it's like 85. It's hold on. What is?
Yeah. Show me. I'm going to look this up. What?
Yeah. It's like $1 something cheaper than regular gas.
Really?
Yeah, 85 gas. I don't know. E85 gas. What is E85 gas? It's flex fuel.
Oh.
So it's a combination of like
okay.
stuff, but it's
So it's
like,
not as scary.
but it's like $1 something cheaper than like regular gas.
Well, I'm telling
But
you, gas is just a lot.
I don't trust it. Yeah.
Not yet. Maybe eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe when it gets like $5-6 a gallon, we can trust it a little bit more.
No, I'm still gonna put regular gas in my truck.
You're like, yeah, no, I'm still gonna use.
No, I'm still gonna use it.
87.
Yeah. I mean, but you know, that's just how politics is, and I'm not gonna get in a whole debate, but I can say 1000%. I don't like Trump as a person. I'm just gonna put that out there.
It's fair.
But the way the country was pre-COVID with, you know, gas and cost of living, finances, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, he used to make money on your bank account.
Yeah.
And now you
And
don't really.
yeah, and I know there's a lot of stuff going on that's not Biden's fault per se, but ever since he's been in there, it just seems like he's done something that's going to make things go up and up and up. And
Or he's not finding a good way to combat it.
yeah, and
I'm not really sure what it is.
It is what it is. And yeah, I can't wait for these 2 years to fly by because
you've got to get something going.
We
make
need
it more affordable
else.
for the middle class. It's always about the middle class.
No, but the thing is, everyone had money. Even the poor people were doing good. The middle class were great. So the high class was like living like the good life.
Large.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm like, I guess I'm middle. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like,
you're middle.
I guess. I don't know, but
me too.
I mean, like, I just work a lot. Like, I got a second job just to make a little bit of more money, just because of how much things have went up. But did I need it? No. Did I want it?
Is it helpful?
No.
Sure.
Is it helpful? Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
There's a lot. There's that's why I got a second job. Not that, I was running out of money, but I just like money and,
not a bad thing.
Trying to get some, like I said, get these ACCs paid off so I can refinance the truck and get it lower. That's
yeah. Everything works in a snowball effect,
Yes. Now, where was I on the questions? We kind of, which is okay. This is what happens on the podcast. It's very common for me to go off the rail a little bit. Okay. So what do you like and not like about being a loan officer? I'm sure it's like me as an old salesperson, I can say like the thing I liked was the people, but also the thing I didn't like was like the time wasted on some accounts of like when you try to get a new account and they're like, yeah, we got you. Then at the last minute, they're like, no, you know what? Actually, we don't want any of your product. And it's like, I spent a week.
Yeah.
A week.
I know. It can be really hard.
Yeah.
I will say what I love about it is also the people. Like I truly feel like down into my heart, I love helping people. And if I can get you into a home, that is just the best for me because renting, you're not building any equity. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna be able to sell that apartment that you've lived in for 10 years. You're not gonna be able to get any of your money back. And it's hard for me.
And it doesn't do anything for your credit really either.
Nothing. It does nothing for you really, except for it gives you a place to live. But at the same time, it's like, it can be really hard. I really put myself out there to try to make any situation work. And that's also what I don't like because it can be really heartbreaking to tell someone like, this isn't going to work. Let me run you through a credit simulator and we can see what we can pay off to increase our credit score. And you can come back to me in 6 months, like 6 months down the road. Let's see where you are.
Yeah.
But it can be really heartbreaking to have to break someone's heart when they're like set on getting a house and they just don't know where to start. There's not a class in high school. There's no class in college. We don't have any guidance until you're looking to buy.
Yeah, I can kind of relate to that. I had like a couple of years ago when I was first looking at cars, and I was looking at the guys like, I can't approve you because you don't have enough credit. But he really broke it down on how the stuff worked. And I didn't get a credit card till I was like 23
Right.
because it's like you said, no one ever taught us all this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that kind of changed everything. So I got a credit card, and every purchase I made, I would just use that and then pay it off because it's like,
Yeah.
I'm already going to spend the money.
And you make points.
Just use this card. And within a year, my credit jumped up like 120 points or something.
Right. Yeah. It's just crazy that credit can change so drastically. And we have ways to build your credit. I have lots of worksheets, and once we run your credit, I can literally do what's called a what if simulator and put like, if we paid this down to 30% of the balance, what if we do that? What will that do to your credit score in 1 month or 6 months or 12 months down the road? Like we can look at all of that, but it's just crazy. I was telling Zach the other day that eventually I would love to be like a part-time professor at Ivy Tech or something, and make it like a 1 credit hour class that everyone has to take to help you do anything. Or like, what do you do when you don't know what to do? Because our parents, they built houses or bought houses in 2001 before the market crashed in 2008. Like there's people you need to be married to buy a house. Like, no, you don't. It really changes nothing.
But it just makes it a tad bit easier though. If you got like 2 people that have credit scores and finances, it's easier to get approved. Because me personally, I'm 90% sure I'm never going to get married. 90%. That's just me.
Conversation for another time.
I don't know. To me, it's just a piece of paper for me. Like, I wouldn't mind to have like a small get together or like a ceremony type deal, but I just don't want like that risk of like, the ugliness of like what could happen if it don't work out.
Yeah. I can imagine.
That's why I got a dog. I'm good. I tell everyone I'm a single father with a 4-year-old, and I show them my dog. They're like, bro, you're ate up. Like,
I am. Oh, trust me. I have a 6-year-old Pomeranian. I'm ate up. I'm just a dog mom.
Yeah. That's I tell everyone that's not my dog. That's my son.
This is my baby girl, Charlie.
Yeah, like that dog has changed me so much. But yeah. So I can see why it could be easier if there was a married couple looking. And but like you said, now you don't really need it because now a lot more young people are realizing maybe from how I found out that I need to build credit. Just getting denied and then talking to them and being like, here's what you got to do. I like the direction that, things are going with younger people, and like they finally realizing like, oh, I need to owe money to get some. And it's just a weird concept. The further in debt you are, the better off you're like able
your
to.
Credit situation is. Yeah. I mean, even just having one credit card.
I think I got 6, but it's like Amazon and like TJ Maxx, but Best Buy, but all that goes through like, the credit bureaus, and I'll max them out and pay them off in like a month. I'll pay one off a month, And
then it looks, you're making your payments on time, you're paying them off. Like it shows you have the money. It's all about, I will say that mortgages are all about the repayment of the loan, like your ability to repay. That's what we base everything on when you're getting a mortgage. So that's why like debt to income ratios are so important, because if your monthly income is $5,000 and your mortgage payment's going to be $2,500, that's already 50% DTI. Because your income is based on a gross monthly. It's gross, it's not net, but it, like that you can't get approved, for much more than 50%, if more than 50% ever, depending on the loan program. So the ability to repay is huge. And if you have credit and credit cards, they can show that you have the ability to repay by having a better credit score, and everything kind of inflates from there.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get like $100,000 in debt just so it's easier to get it. But it's weird saying that. Like you have to go over $100,000 in debt to be able to do anything.
Do you have student loans or anything?
No, I never went to school. I just kind of
Good for you.
worked. I worked and I got lucky. I got lucky. That's what it was. I mean, it was hard work, but for someone with no degree to be making the money I do, and I'm gonna be making more soon. So it's like
Good
this
for
is just like,
you.
yeah, it's just like I pinch myself at times. Like not to go back to the truck, but I cried when I got that truck. I did
Yeah.
1000%. I as a kid, that was always the dream because I came up very poor and whatnot. And I just remember like eating bologna and like not having lights sometimes. It's like, now I got my own place. I got
My own truck.
new truck. I got money. What is this?
Like this is life, but you worked hard for it.
Yeah. So it just makes me very appreciative over little things like that. It's just weird. I'm a very emotional guy when I accomplish stuff. It's weird. I don't know.
It's good that you can admit that.
Yeah, I'm very emotional. Very. um, so at some point, did you want to branch out and like have your own loan company and like be your own boss, or is this something you want to stick with and like having your name attached to something that's already established?
So I've never thought about that, but I will say that my long-term goal is to be our branch manager at this location in Bloomington.
Okay.
So my boss's name is Ryan Langley, and he rules our entire branch. He knows everything. He's 41 or 2. So he's one of the younger, he's the third youngest in our office. And he's very, very good at his job. He's very knowledgeable. He holds my hand, tells me if I'm making a mistake or how to look at things correctly. He's been my biggest mentor and, helping me figure out what I'm doing and how to do it and make sure I'm following all the guidelines all the time. But I did tell him when I took this role that is definitely what I want to do long term, is to be eventually the branch manager and leading this group in Bloomington. But that's pretty cool. I'm gonna take a token of that in the back of my brain that's even an option, because I didn't even think about it.
Huh. Yeah. I mean, I figured someone in this business at some point wants to be their own, like, it's like established.
Right.
But it's easier already attaching yourself to something that is established and successful, because you could be the go-to person, but they're going for the company purpose too. Like there's certain things that this company can offer that this company doesn't. And you probably, it's just crazy to think about. Like, man, you could probably do it by the time you're like 32, as young as you are. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy to think about.
I know. It's really happened very quickly, I will say.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I just sit and I'm like, am I really like in my own like full on like office? Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Your office is a lot nicer than mine. It's just like,
oh, that's because, Ruoff pays for mine. No, I'm not paying for it myself. I will say that I like Ruoff a lot for multiple reasons, but also the fact that like realtors, they're full commission too, and they work under a realty firm or a brokerage, but they're not W-2 employees. We are W-2 employees. So they take taxes out and we don't owe $20,000 in taxes when tax time comes next year. So there's a lot of benefits to being with Ruoff and not being on your own. And they watch us, and then we have compliance departments, and they tell us when we need to send out disclosures and when we've changed something in the file that needs updated, and they have all those things put in place that is really, really helpful.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to manifest that you are going to be the branch manager before you know it. Like, because like you said, things go like just yesterday. I remember like things as a kid, and now it's like I'm 27 and I don't feel like I'm 27. So it's just going to like go by like that.
I know.
That's what's crazy.
Time is crazy.
Yeah. And I'm in a lot better shape, I guess, now than I was when I was 17 or 18. I went from being like this beanpole kid at like 140 pounds to like 190. And it's like, like I feel
you're like I'm just growing in every way.
I just feel like I feel like I still feel like I'm 16, which is
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
There's nothing that slows me down. And I think you have that same energy. So, that's just going to be I say it's like infectious. Like that's going to spread and it's good though.
Yeah.
That's a good energy to spread. And, obviously if your boss didn't see the potential, he wouldn't hold your hand and tell you, hey, this is not right
Right.
here, so every time he does that, I'm sure you're like, okay, I'm good. Because if he's not saying something to you, then,
Right. That's when I know I need to be doing something more.
yeah, that's when, you're like, oh, I, I got to have a talk with this guy. See
I got to figure this
what's
out.
going on. Yeah. And that's just from personal experience of when I was younger, not doing my job. And, when my old bosses stopped getting on me, it's like, okay, what's going on?
Hello.
They're not saying anything. And yeah, then one boss says, I give up. You know what I mean? He's like, I just gave up. And that was an eye opener. But that's like when I was
Yes.
like 20. That was
Yeah.
so long ago.
So young.
Yeah.
So young and new. They had so much to learn. I still every day learn something new. There's something new to learn every single day. So we'll grow every single day. It's kind of crazy.
Do you get you might not get it like I do, but like being as young as you are, when you come to like do the stuff, do they think you're not like a loan officer to like, where's the loan officer at?
Yeah.
Because the thing I get is like when he asks to speak to a manager and he see me, it's like,
They're like,
where's the manager? I'm like, I am the manager.
they're like, hi, I'm right here actually.
No, right here.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah. No, sometimes I feel like it can be really hard to demand a presence of like, hi, I do know what I'm doing. I might be young. I can't change that. Like there are things that I just cannot change. But I took the same test that every other mortgage loan officer took, and I passed it on the first try. And I know my stuff. But if I don't know my stuff, I'm going to find out the answer for you too. And I don't pretend to know them when I don't know them, because there are things the test doesn't prepare you for, which we learned in school. You learn as you go. You can't know everything. And I don't try to stress myself out in the way of trying to know everything. Like I can find out the answers as I go and grow as I go. But I do think sometimes it can be really hard to walk into a room and they're like, because sometimes I don't meet my clients till closing, right?
Yeah.
Like we do everything through the computer. They never see me. And I walk into the closing and they're like, oh, hi, you're Brittany. And I'm like, yes, I am. It's nice to meet you finally. Not like in person. Because some people can probably tell by my voice. I've been told I have a very high pitched voice, but I can't do anything about my age, but I can tell you that I have the same certifications that everybody else does to do my job.
Yeah. Have you ever kind of got like a compliment that seemed like an insult? It's like, because what I get often is, oh, you're more articulate or brighter than you look.
Yeah. They're like,
it's like,
I think sometimes people ask me questions assuming that I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, I can't think of an exact situation, but I have like taken mental notes sometimes and been like, wow, that kind of sucked. Like you just expected me to not know, even though this answer I actually did know. But I did get a question earlier today about capital gains. For example, like if you haven't been in your house for 2 years and you sell it for way more than you bought it for, even if you're putting the money towards a new house and you're not just like selling it to sell it and then living at your parents or something, do you have to pay capital gains on that? And I was like, I don't know the answer to that. And I'm still waiting to find my answer. So truly, I'm like, I'm not going to pretend like I know. But that's a really good question. Like, I'm not really sure how capital gains works in that aspect. But that's another part of the business that I'll learn eventually.
Yeah. And I don't know. I just feel like maybe because we're younger, we're going to get those people that expect us not to be good. And it frustrates me. It's like, look, I don't know if it's my age or if I'm tatted. I don't have a couple tattoos. Like I'm tatted. And I don't think they expect someone with my appearance to be in a position I'm in. It's like, this has nothing to do with what I know and what I do.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with what's inside your brain. It's like me. I'm 5 feet tall. People look at me and they look at you and they're like,
you're not 5 foot. Stop lying.
I'm 5 feet tall. I'm saying it every day forever.
You're 4'10". Stop lying.
I'm 4'11 3/4. They won't put 60 inches tall on my stinking doctor's notes, which is 5 feet.
Yeah.
But I'm just going with it.
I think I lied on my license too. I think I said I was 5'11".
My license says I'm like 110 pounds, so I'm not anymore. It's fine.
What I mean is fine because 110 pounds is tiny. So it's like
I'm like 125 now.
Yeah. I don't know, but I lied too. I lie on my stuff too, just because it's like 5'10" sounds like I'm tiny. Because but I'm like.
How do you think 4'11 sounds?
Well, fun fact, I'm like the shortest person in my family. Like even my sister's like, okay, with the guys, I'm the shortest.
Yeah.
I got a little brother who's not little. He's like 6'2". Then I got an older brother, who's 6'6".
You have a brother that's 6'6".
Yeah. And I'm like not 6 foot. My dad has one leg and he's 6'1".
What?
Yeah. And he's over 70 years old. So he was probably taller than 6'1" at some point.
Yeah.
So
because your spine starts to shrink on you.
Well, mine started at a young age. That's my excuse.
That's my excuse. Same.
I was weird.
I was 5 feet at one point.
I just remember like in 7th and 8th grade, like I towered over people. Then I get to like high school. Everyone grew except me. So it's
except me. You grew early.
Yeah. Like I was 5 foot. I was 5'9" in 8th grade.
So how? I was like 4'5", maybe
4'3". Anyway, so I guess one of the last questions I got is, and this is probably a common question and something that's probably misunderstood to common people like me, but are you the same as like an underwriter, or did you do the process beforehand and direct to someone else, or do you like just do all the steps in one deal?
So let me ask you if I'm thinking about this correctly. There are underwriters that we employ at Ruoff.
Okay.
We are separate. So the way an application would work is I would be the file starter and the loan officer. Then it goes to a case opener and they put everything away in the file and deal with verifications of employment, any weird things that we need. Like if you don't know where your W-2s are, we might need W-2 transcripts from the IRS, and they would order all of those for me. I don't actually touch a whole lot. And then processors would get it next, and they make sure that I have everything up front and present a clean file to the underwriter who gets it next. And it goes into a queue. So it's totally unbiased. It goes into what's called an underwriter queue, and then it's assigned each day to underwriters that are qualified to work on the loan type. So for example, today I had an FHA loan come out of underwriting, and this underwriter specifically only works on FHA files. She doesn't do conventional or VA or USDA. So we have a pool of underwriters that work in all of the variety of loans that we do here, and they're different.
But would the FHA loans be higher because of the different, like they're meant for first home owners, right?
Yeah.
But would that be more expensive down the road going with FHA instead of like trying to like do it through something else?
Conventional. Yeah. So FHA, they do have what is called a upfront mortgage insurance. So if you put less than 20% down on a conventional, you'll have mortgage insurance, but that falls off at 20% when you hit the 20% down mark, or what we call 80% loan to value. You can call your servicer, whether that's Ruoff or we may sell you the loan. You would call them and they would drop it for you. So that payment can vary from, very little to like $200 a month I've seen. And for FHA, they do what's called an upfront mortgage premium to be able to use their loan program. And so they often loop that into the loan amount, and it's 1.75% of your purchase price or loan amount. And then you also have monthly mortgage insurance that does not fall off once you hit 20%. So when I am talking to people about FHA loans, I ask them how long they plan to live in the house. Because if it's 5 years and you want to put 3.5% down, which is what is required of FHA or more, you don't really see a difference much between conventional and FHA. Like you're going to have mortgage insurance for probably at least 5 years if you only put 3.5% down. But I will say that FHA lets you go up to 50% DTI and conventional stops you at 45 most of the time. So you have more wiggle room as far as like what you can afford, what debts are allowable, and those kinds of things with FHA. So it's just a more lenient program, and they allow some credit scores that are worse, like conventional. They kind of try to push people towards using the government loans if you don't have like a great credit score. So FHA is oftentimes, for a lot of first-time homebuyers, use it because they don't have as much credit. They don't have as high of a credit score. They don't have as much money down because they're younger and they haven't saved and all the varying reasons. But if they don't plan on being there for more than 5 to 10 years, FHA is a great program for first-time homebuyers for sure.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I guess I'm different. Like when I buy my first home, I think that's going to be my forever home. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't went out and got a house yet. Because I don't want to be in a mortgage. It's something like you said, I'm gonna be in for 5 years or so. I'm gonna find that one house. That's it. You know,
that's what you want. Yeah. It. And some people, it depends on everybody's situation. That's why one of the first questions I ask people when I talk to them is, what is your goal? Like, what are your goals? Is your goal the best rate? Is your goal the lowest mortgage payment every month? Is your goal, I want to know what this, and this is? Like, what are your goals? Because it's different for every person.
Yeah. And I'm trying to, in my head, have it to where other people are paying my mortgage. By when I say that, I think at some point before the end of this year, I'm going to buy like a couple trailers or like mobile homes and rent them out.
Yep.
And then start like that. And then
then they're paying you monthly and that pays for your mortgage.
Yeah, but I'm trying to be retired by 40.
Oh, I want to be retired by 42.
Then like when I just be a property manager. That's
what we want to do. We want to have investment properties
that's it.
Yeah. That pay for us. It's our retirement plan.
Yeah. And it's like, I tell people, think of ways to make money in your sleep.
That's what Zach said.
Make money 24 hours a day. And that's it.
Best way is real estate.
I'm going to start with small and then hopefully buy like a house near campus, where I can charge 5,000-6,000. Be like set. Rent. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Because they'll pay it.
Yeah, and you don't have to like do upkeep too much. They're just going to trash the house. Just make sure the floors ain't going to cave in, the walls are up, and you're good.
Yeah, they don't care what kind of refrigerator's in there.
Yeah, so it's
all.
It is what it is. Like I got a goal, and it's going to happen. Like
good.
It's
manifest it.
Yeah,
you're going to have properties by the end of the year.
It's for sure, and. Like I'm already on Marketplace looking here and there and
good.
But I don't want like something like too old or like that requires a lot of work. I want something that basically can just be moved into as soon as possible. Immediately.
Yep.
I'm not trying to spend 18 to 20,000 and then have to put like 5 to 10,000 into it right off the bat.
Yeah, you want your move-in ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, that's the goal always.
Yeah. So that's what I want. And we'll see. But that's it's gonna happen. I just don't know
the time frame.
Yeah, the time frame. So
yeah, it'll happen. If that's your goal, it will happen.
And that's partially why I got the second job to put more money back to buy more properties. Correct.
So, you're thinking correct. You're doing everything you can.
Yeah. And it's like what I don't know if people realize this in high school. I've always thought about the bigger picture type stuff. That's why I didn't go to parties and I didn't hang out with a lot of people on the weekends. I was just always trying to figure out like, what can I do tomorrow that's going to benefit me here? And that's kind of been the issue. I've been an old soul since I was a kid. And I feel like that's why me and most people my age never clicked. Just because it's, I don't know. I've just always thought differently.
Yeah.
So
it's fair.
Yeah. I guess to kind of start closing this out, did you have any questions or anything you wanted to bring up? Because I know this was kind of random. I'm sure you were like, whoa, like, what? Like, this guy wants me on his podcast? Like, what the heck? You know?
I literally was like, I've never done anything like this. I hope it's really stinking cool. I hope I do a good job.
I told you, like, chill. It's okay. It's just going to be like a regular
I was like, what can I expect? I don't really know. Like, is there anything I should prepare for? You're like, nope, all's good. I'm like, okay.
I'm like, well, I got you. Like, I got you. It's okay.
Yeah, this is all good. I told you make people chill. Told you that from the beginning. You just have a good vibe.
Oh.
I don't think I have anything. I don't have any questions for you, unless you have more for me.
In terms of this, no. But I guess to just go on a little bit, what type of movies are you into? Because if you look back here at all my
your Michael Myers stuff.
Yeah, I got my Halloween stuff. And, I'm
well,
a slasher guy. I love just slashers, but I used to tell people that he was my dad. Like, you know.
Like, oh, good. I would say my favorite movies would be, wait for it, Fast and Furious, everything.
Okay.
Can you see that?
No, but
love Fast and Furious.
Okay.
But my favorite show is Peaky Blinders. You don't know what that is?
Is it on Netflix or something?
Yes.
Okay, I'll check it out.
They're like gangsters.
Okay.
They have razors in their hats and they it's awesome.
So
they run like an empire.
So like the Fast series, I liked like the first one and the second one. And Tokyo Drift, I think, was the third.
The third one, yeah.
And then after that, it just turned to a bunch of like cool stuff. And it's like, I can see why it's eye-catching from start to finish.
I love it.
I like stories, and this guy behind me, it's hard to explain, but I'm just gonna do it. So you can't see it, but up on the wall here, I got all the movies, and it's in timeline order. So if you think about it, I don't know if you knew that. Did you see any of the new Halloween ones, the ones that came out in 2018 or the last one?
No, I have not seen any of the new ones.
Okay, so in timeline order, all the other ones after the first never happened. So forget everything you've seen after the first. They never happened. So the one that came out in 2018 and Kills are direct sequels to the very first movie. Yeah.
So you really dive deep into.
So Halloween 2 and Halloween 3 had nothing to do with Michael. And 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 never happened.
What?
Yeah.
I'm mind blown.
Now I'm watching all the Scream movies. Like I'm trying to do like these I do more movie stuff on my podcast than anything because I love movies.
Yeah.
So I'm ranking like the best movies in each franchise, and I'm watching all the Scream ones, and I'll tell you I was not impressed with the new Scream.
Really?
Not impressed. Did you watch it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we've watched they freak me out though.
Okay. Well, I was not too impressed. It might just be because
you really analyze these movies.
Yeah. And I was like,
You're like,
I
you're not
knew
thinking.
I knew who the killers were before we knew.
Yeah, because you can tell.
Yeah.
Because
I'm
you
like,
watch them so intuitively.
yeah, I'm like her boyfriend and I oh, okay. And and yeah, then that small chick, I knew it. She was just quiet from the get-go. I just knew
And that
like,
just told you that she was the killer.
yeah, 1000%.
See, no, my
1000%.
brain does not work like that. I'm like waiting for them to like show me. You
So
have to see it.
so anytime you're watching a show and you don't know, you can like text me on Instagram and be like, hey, watch this and who do you think the killer's gonna be? And I can tell you in like 10 minutes, like, oh yeah.
You'll watch literally 10 minutes of a show or a movie and know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna make a bet. I'll
Yeah.
text you one time and say, go look at this. I don't know who it is. I can't figure it out.
Yeah. So in terms of shows though, I got a weird it can go from South Park to like Good Doctor to like uh did you watch True Detective on HBO?
No. So that's on
Okay.
like real TV.
No, I don't watch a lot of like cable television. I watch streaming service stuff.
Same. So it's on
A-
HBO.
yeah, it's got Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrison.
Oh, Matthew McConaughey for sure. That's funny.
But it's
He's
not.
awesome.
It's very serious, and it's like a
Funny show with Matthew McConaughey in it.
It's a very serious, dark, like detective show. It's
No.
yeah. What
I
else?
love Matthew McConaughey.
There's a new show I'm watching on HBO called Wedding Time about the Lakers. About the start.
We don't have HBO. Apparently, we need to get HBO.
Bro, I would totally be down and like letting you use my info. Like it's got some good stuff.
We need to apparently watch some HBO.
Yeah,
we have Netflix and Hulu and a couple of others, but not HBO. Apparently, all the cool stuff's on HBO.
Yeah, like the easiest thing for me to do is if you downloaded the HBO thing on your TV or what, I'm sure you got a smart TV. Everyone has a smart TV. If you download the app and you go to sign in on device, all you have to do is text me the code. I would just pop it in and you can make your profile and boom. It's like 2 seconds.
Do you see that Netflix is doing away with that?
I mean, they're just sick of stuff like this. Like,
I was like, you suck. They better not do it.
But yet, like, the thing is like, my family does, like, someone has Paramount, so everyone has the info to that. I have Hulu, HBO, Showmax, and Stars all on one thing. So it's like, I tell people, like, I got it. I'm thinking about doing a live TV too to save money on cable.
That's what we have. We have Hulu Live, and we have all the sports and anything really you could want to watch. And it's like $67 a month, I think.
Yeah.
And then you have all of like the Hulu shows and all that stuff
all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about saving a couple dollars off that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for movies and TV. There's a lot of other ones, but they're just like one show I got to start from the beginning. I started late and I was so confused. It's Ozark.
Oh, yeah. We watched Ozark.
So I need to start on season 1 and work my way.
Yes.
Up.
Yeah, I can see how you would be confused.
Yeah, I was watching the last season when I was in Florida with some friends. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like,
you're like, what?
This super white family is like a trap god. What's
happening? No, you have to watch from the beginning. You'll see how he gets involved in that.
Yeah. So I'm like, he's like El Chapo for real.
He's the real life El Chapo.
Yeah. So other than that, I just do podcast and work, and I kind of make music. Yeah, I'm not kind of. I still make music, but it's just harder to have time.
Yeah.
But the effort that I do into it.
Yeah.
And this is easier to have a platform than music. Like, not too many people listen to white guys rapping unless you're like super good.
You can be the next Eminem.
I
gotta be from Detroit and have it embedded in your soul.
I guess, but I'm just more into this, which is crazy.
That's awesome.
I never thought I would do in my life. No,
which is super cool.
I just had this dream and I woke up and I said, you know what? I literally woke up one day and said, I'm gonna start a podcast.
That's
just
awesome.
Because of the dream. I don't know what the dream was saying, but like I was at a table and I can't remember. There was some actor and like Joe Rogan was right here and it was somebody else. And it's like we were all having a conversation. I'm like, what
am I doing here?
Yeah, like I need to start a podcast. I think this is what's gonna happen. And like Joe Rogan looked older too. Like it looked like it was like down, like, you know,
like futuristic.
Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute.
What's happening?
What's going on? So I started a podcast because I think that's what it was telling me to do. And my speech impediment kind of went away and I don't stutter anymore. And it's like, this is crazy. And
it really went away.
Yeah, like 1000%. And I'm also like a year or two ago. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So if there's nothing else or anything, then I guess tell my listeners how they can find you. Rather, it's like your landing page or whatever you want to do to like promote yourself. You know, feel free. This is yours.
Okay. Can I go ahead and give you this in like an email? I don't know if you like put this like at the bottom or anything, but I have an application link. I have a website. My phone number, I'll go ahead and say that out loud, is 812-606-7009. And I have that thing attached to me. I have to be able to answer the phone at all times. People call me really anytime throughout the day. I'm working until 9 or 10 p.m. a lot of the times. And my email is just brittany.eckerle@ruoff.com. So if you ever have any questions or need me for anything, I'm happy to answer any questions or talk to anybody about the situation, even if you're not interested in buying right now and you're interested 1, 2, 3 years down the road. We can work on getting your credit where it should be. Or if it already is there, we can talk about kind of down payments and what those look like and how we can save and be in the best situation.
Oh, yeah. So basically, send me those links and whatnot, okay. And when I post it, I'll have your lending page on Instagram,
right,
and all that there. You know,
cool. So I've got all kinds of links.
Yeah,
you don't need to spell them out.
Yeah, I got 3 pages. I got my personal account that I don't let people see. You know what I mean? It's like I just want that to be with people I know and not. Sorry, guys. As much as I appreciate the support, there's certain things I try to keep private. Yeah.
Keep your private life private. Yeah.
And
totally.
Not much of mine is private. So, like, there's nothing I do that's too exciting.
Yeah.
At the same time, I have to have that balance. So, I'll make sure I'll just put your business pages and all that down there so you can at least have some sort of privacy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I appreciate you having me. This has been really stinking cool.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome that you have this. I applaud your efforts in what you're doing because this is a lot of work, I'm sure.
It's really not. It's
really?
To some it might be, but to me, it's just.
You love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like not a job. It's a fun
finding time is the thing, I guess. And when
I'm not working, and I appreciate you reaching out because this is so cool.
Yeah. And I can't say never thought. I just didn't know you that well. And you're a lot chiller than I remembered, but yet I don't.
16-year-old Brittany is not the same as 25-year-old Brittany, I promise.
So,
we have all grown a whole lot, and I'm very thankful for it.
Yeah.
It's much better.
Yeah. Not to.
We're not hormonal 16-year-olds anymore.
Yeah. So.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. So, this has been super cool. And this was super knowledgeable. Like, I typically don't listen to a lot of podcasts I post, but this is one of those I'm gonna have to go back and
Yeah.
because I shook my head when you were saying some stuff, but it's like I'm not gonna fully comprehend everything she's saying. Like,
Oh, no,
one
it takes a
sitting.
lot. I feel
Yeah,
like
so
I'm educating on the daily while also educating myself because there's so much to know.
yeah, so this is one of those I'm gonna have to listen and then like Google what you're saying. So it's
Yeah.
just,
Well, you can also text me and just ask me too if you want a direct answer.
yeah, I as much as I appreciate that, um, it seems like you're already a busy person and
Oh,
whatnot, and
I love it. I love what
I'm
I do.
I'm sure, but I'm just I just don't want to put any more
Oh, well, I
hassle on
respect
it.
that.
Yeah. So other than that, yeah, this has been super cool. And yeah, hopefully, good things and more things are coming. And yeah, at some point we'll have to like do this again. And by
Yeah,
then, hopefully I have my own little studio set up.
I
As you
hope
can
so.
tell what I was talking about. It's not the biggest room and it's just not
You'll get there.
yeah. So
Growth.
well, it's perfect for music. This is what the room's set up to be. It's very noise gated and whatnot. But
Cool.
in terms of like having two people in here, it gets like, hold on, I gotta move over this way, don't move. Or hey, can you move to the side a little bit?
Yeah.
It gets a little crowd. Like I've had 6 people in this room at one time, and it's just like, all right, I'm gonna hit record. No, nobody move.
No, nobody move.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So yeah, this was super cool. And yeah, I can't believe like look at us getting along. This is crazy. This
I
is
know.
crazy. Like I said, a conversation I never thought would happen, but it is what it is.
Yeah. It's pretty cool to see what we all do and what directions our lives take us.
Yeah, because not everyone is like doing well. You know what I mean? And
Right.
everyone has to be thankful for like what we do have, especially our class. Like, I've always like, and it's not, I wouldn't say jokingly, but I tell like my family, like our class is like the class of death. Like
Yeah.
we've already have had what, like 6, 7 people and
Pass away.
it's just like, this is like good to see people not only alive, but thriving.
Yeah. It's really
Um,
cool.
Yeah, so this is just great to see, and hopefully many more blessings for everybody, not just you.
Yes. I hope for everyone.
Because I would love to get one classmate a month on here just to see like where
Yeah.
things
Where they're
are.
at, what they're doing.
Yeah, I think it would be cool. So
It'd be really cool.
I
And I
think I'm
think
gonna
they
have
would
to
love it because this has been a cool experience.
yeah, I think I'm gonna have to start doing that. So you might have to put in a good word for me because
Oh, I will.
the cool people.
Hey, we're not cool people, I promise. I think everybody is cool. Like I remember
yeah.
talking to like literally everybody, but also like our school was so small. It was easy to like have
We
a
all
stereotype and like
yeah, well, we all grew up together, and I think that's why this small chat happened here and there. Because
right,
we all came up in middle school and elementary.
right.
So it's like our class, we weren't, yeah, there were groups, but like real quick, like during lunch, like I would sit with like, who was it? It was like Gage, Wyatt, and those
Yeah,
guys. And then I would like go over and sit with like Ryan and Mikkel and those guys. And then I would sit with like some other people. It's like I was bouncing around at lunch. It was crazy.
right.
It's like,
Same. It's just, yeah, it's been crazy.
yeah.
But I
Well,
appreciate it.
yeah, we'll have to do this down the road at some point. And yeah, if you ever get bored and you and Zach go out and whatnot, and there's going to be a group of people, I might
Yeah.
not be available, but I'm
I'd
always
love to
down
invite you.
to yeah, I'm always down to come out and well, I typically don't drink twisted teas, but this is like my golf drink when I play
Oh, you
golf.
golf.
Oh yeah,
Zach loves golf.
yeah. I play
I'm
at
sh-
Taylor's a lot because it's like you don't have
Taylor's
to book
par
a tee
three?
time. Yeah, because you
Yeah.
can go wherever. And
Zach stinking loves it.
but my favorite course is Rolling Meadows in Spencer.
That's where Zach likes to play too.
Yeah, that's my favorite course. I
Yeah.
try to get out there a couple times. But now that I work in Mitchell, has he ever played at Otis?
Yes.
Yeah.
He actually likes Otis because they're like fairly priced and it's actually well maintained.
Yeah, it's a difficult course,
It's
but
hard though.
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
So
it tests your skills.
I'm gonna play there more often just because I'm already, in that area. Like if I get off early from work one day, I might just go out there and play
Totally.
9 or something. But
Yeah.
I love golf. This is my drink on the golf course because it's refreshing if it's hot.
Yeah. I love Twisted Teas.
Typically, I'm more manly and I got like whiskey or like a real beer, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna drink a Twisted Tea.
Yeah.
Twisted
Good
Tea kind of
stuff.
day. Yeah. So yeah, guys, this is the Sunkiss podcast, and I just talked to an old friend. And yeah, if you have any questions about mortgages or anything, I'll make sure to put her info up. And also, you can come in contact with me if you can't get in contact with her, and I'll make sure I get where people need to be. So yeah, once again, thank you so much for your time. And yeah, this has been fun.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This has been a blast.
Yes. All right. Well, as always, guys, you can find the podcast at Instagram on the Sun Pod, and we're on YouTube now, and I think that's also the Sun Pod. So so I hope to see you guys next week, and have a good day, and as always, cheers.